Hello everyone and welcome back to another Figurehead Reviews video, and today we are taking a look at Union Jack from the Marvel Legends Professor Hulk Build-A-Figure wave. Here we have Union Jack displayed in the front window with his Build-A-Figure piece and accessories. On the sides we do have some artwork, and it is going to be the same on both sides, and then we see that artwork once again on the back along with a read-up. Union Jack is a British operative, spy, and master of hand-to-hand combat embroiled in the world of European politics. And at the bottom we do have the UPC code, so you can check with your local retailer to see if they have this in stock. But enough about that, let's get this open and take a look at Union Jack. And here is Union Jack outside of his packaging, and I went with a relatively generic walking pose here because I had a hard time getting him to stand up straight or to stand up in any other balanced position because he does have a little bit of a warp in one of his legs, which I'll have to straighten out with the heat and treat method. And then the right arm will not go straight, so any poses that I try to do with him actually aiming that gun didn't really come out looking very good, so I just went with something a little more generic here. Now, in standing straight up, this figure is coming in at 6 1/4 inches tall, which makes him about 15.9 centimeters. Inside the packaging, we do have, of course, his Build-A-Figure piece, and then two weapons, starting first with this knife here. And we can see we get a light silver on the blade, and then going down to a black paint on the handle, and it honestly looks good. It's a knife. There's nothing too special. He does have a holster on the side for the knife. However, I have a bit of a difficulty getting the knife to go all the way down. It does stick up a little bit, so I don't know if that's by design or if I just need to try to force it in a little bit more. So that's a little bit of a letdown that it sticks out like that. And then, of course, he does come with his revolver, which also has a black handle and then that silver for the main gun. And the revolver looks good as well. I like the sculpt work and design behind that, so no complaints there. And then he does have a holster for the gun as well on his right side, but I will say getting the flap to close while the gun is in the holster is a pretty difficult task. But let's go ahead now and take a look at the sculpt and paintwork here on Union Jack. And here is Union Jack up close, and we don't have a whole lot going on with the head sculpt other than just this mask here and his eyes sticking out, which the paint came out looking okay, but I actually really like this mask. If you wanted to do sort of the sophisticated bank robber, throw this head sculpt on one of these suited bodies, and I think it actually looks pretty cool. So if you can find them at a cheap discount, even for the extra heads, might be cool for some ACBA stuff. But otherwise, looking at the rest of the body, it is your standard Bucky cap mold, so nothing too crazy there. We do, of course, get the Union Jack flag on his chest, which came out looking good. The belt just getting a little bit closer, some cool pouches, some nice paint. Nothing really out of the ordinary there for the belt. I think it came out looking good, and the paint looks decent as well. And then for the rest of the figure, there's really not a whole lot else going on. He's got a bit of a wonky leg that I've been trying to heat up and straighten out, but it keeps going back, actually. And then you do have these little guys here around the ankle and the wrist. Those are movable, but they're not going to go far because they are pretty tight on there. But yeah, there's not a whole lot else to be said about the sculpt work. It's a Bucky cap that we've seen many times. The paint, there are a few spots where some of the white has the red seeping through, but for the most part, the line work actually came out looking decent. Now, as far as articulation goes, it's a Bucky cap. We've seen it down, up, goes pretty far, can go up okay, full rotation. We have a bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, hinge and rotation at the wrists. You do have a pretty deep ab crunch, and it goes back quite a ways as well, but leaves a really nasty gap there. Waist rotation, you have legs that come apart that far, kick forward that far, back, not much at all, upper thigh cut, double jointed knee, boot cut, and then hinge and ankle pivot. And that is going to do it for this review, everyone. And overall, you know, it's not a complete Marvel Legends wave without a Bucky cap figure. So this is our Bucky cap figure for this wave. And, I mean, it's not terrible, but it's just another Bucky cap figure. The thing I like the most on it is probably this head sculpt. I've been thinking about getting some silicone and molding resin and make my own head casts for different customs and kit bashes and stuff. And I think this will be a good one to do exactly what I showed earlier with the sort of the high-profile bank robbers. I think I got some ideas for some pretty cool photo shots with that. But anyway, that is it for this review, guys. Overall, decent enough figure. Character content is good. Union Jack is not entirely unknown, but I could certainly see how some people would just pass this one up. But anyway, as I said, that is it for the review. Make sure to hit that like button if you liked it. Subscribe for more content just like this. And as always, thanks for watching my video, and have a great day.